Okay, let's talk about the worst people in your life. No, not your exes. I'm talking about your haters. I know, sounds crazy, right? Why would you listen to someone who clearly doesn't like you or your ideas? But what if ignoring them is actually your biggest mistake? What if the most valuable lessons you need to grow are hidden in the noise of disagreement? Let's be real. Getting criticized, getting negative feedback, dealing with online haters, it hurts. It triggers that fight or flight. Our first instinct is to shut down, get defensive, ignore them, or just block, block, block. Especially if you're putting yourself out there, sharing your ideas, building a business, creating content, negative feedback feels deeply personal. And in that natural reaction to dismiss, we often throw the baby out with the bath water or the bath water. We miss potential gold mines of information. First, a critical distinction. I'm not talking I'm not talking about abuse, harassment, hate speech, or purely personal attacks with no substance. That kind of negativity, ignore, block, report, protect your peace. I'm talking about disagreement, criticism, negative feedback, people who challenge your ideas, point out perceived flaws, or offer a completely different perspective, even if they do it rudely. Think of it like a diamond in the rough. The outside might be ugly and sharp, but inside, there could be something valuable. It feels great to get positive comments, to have people agree with you. It's affirming. But when we only listen to those who agree, we create an echo chamber. We hear our own ideas bounce back to us, getting louder and louder. This makes us complacent. We stop questioning our own assumptions. We miss blind spots. We don't see new possibilities. We stop growing. Disagreement, even from someone who seems like a hater, forces us out of that echo chamber. It's a shake up, and that shake up can be incredibly valuable. So, how do you actually do it? How do you find the gold hidden in the gravel of negative feedback? Here are some strategies. Are you ready? Let's go. Strategy number one: separate the emotion from the message. The tone can feel like an attack, but try to look past the anger or rudeness. Take a breath, step away if needed, and then revisit the comment or feedback objectively. Ask yourself, what is the core message stripped of the anger or rudeness? Hmm. Strategy number two: look for patterns. One of angry comments can often be ignored, but if you start seeing similar points or recurring themes across multiple comments, messages, or conversations, that significantly provides a signal. And then ask yourself, are different people saying the same thing in different ways? If so, there's likely something there to explore. Strategy number three: identify blind spots. Others often see things about us or our work that we simply can't see ourselves. Criticisms can highlight confusing communication, assumptions you're making that aren't clear to others, or areas where you might lack an understanding or context. Ask, what is this person seeing that I'm missing? Hmm. Strategy number four: consider the source strategically. You don't need to give equal weight to every single opinion you receive. However, it's worth considering if the person who disagrees has some relevant experience or a different perspective you haven't considered. Sometimes the most insightful criticisms come from someone outside your usual circle or someone who has a different or lived experience? Hmm. Strategy number 5: frame it as a learning opportunity. This is a mindset shift. See criticisms not a personal attack or a judgment, but as data. Every piece of feedback, positive or negative, is information. Adopt a growth mindset and ask, what can I learn from this to improve my content, my message, or even myself? It's not just us regular people or those in corporate roles who face disagreement and what can feel like haters. Think about public figures, celebrities, entrepreneurs who are constantly in the spotlight. Think about Elon Musk. Early on, critics dismissed Tesla and SpaceX as impossible dreams, calling him a misguided dreamer. Instead of retreating, Musk used that skepticism as fuel, refining his engineering, addressing technical challenges, and ultimately proving those critics wrong. He turned negativity into resilience. And then there's Steve Jobs. His career was marked by both immense success and significant challenge, including being famously ousted from Apple. During this time away and even upon his return, he faced questions and criticism about his approach and Apple's future. When he came back to Apple, he brought lessons learned from his failures and experiences outside the company. His vision for products like the iMac, iPod, iPhone, and iPad faced initial skepticism, but he had processed criticism, learned from past mistakes, and came back with a clearer, more refined strategy and unshakable focus on the user experience that ultimately silenced many of the doubters. These aren't examples of people who just ignored negativity. They are examples of people who, in different ways, seemed to process it, extract insights, and use the external pressure to adopt, learn, and ultimately build incredible things. This resonates with my own experience too. While not on a global public stage, the intense disagreement I faced when I was micromanaging leadership style that failed with my team, and the feedback I gathered also forced a critical look in the mirror. It was those moments of friction, those challenges to my established way of doing things that spurred my biggest learning and led me to adopt more effective servant leadership approach. Whether it's on a massive public scale or within your own team or personal life, disagreement is an unavoidable force. The difference between those who stagnate and those who grow often lies in their willingness to listen to the noise, filter out the abuse, and find the valuable signal buried within. Learning from disagreement doesn't mean you have to accept abuse or let every comment affect your mental health. Embrace the strategies we discussed for extracting value, but also know when to protect your peace. Set clear boundaries. Know when to engage with feedback and when to simply disengage. Not all criticism requires a response, and not all opinions are valid. But the strategic approach to disagreement can make you stronger and your work better. When you learn to listen strategically to those who disagree, you become antifragile. You get stronger from challenges. You gain new perspectives, refine your ideas, uncover blind spots, and build resilience. You move beyond needing constant validation. This is a massive mindset upgrade. It elevates your ability to handle challenges and helps you create success on your own terms without being derailed by negativity. So let's talk about this. What's the hardest kind of feedback or disagreement for you to hear? Or what's one valuable lesson you've actually learned from someone who disagreed with you? Pause for a second. Has someone's critic ever secretly helped you grow? Drop a light symbol in the comments if that is a yes. And if this video challenged your thinking and helped you see disagreement in a new light, I would appreciate your sharing this video. This channel is all about upgrading your mindset and building a life that matters. And if you want to learn more about building resilience and turning challenges into fuel, check out this next video. And I'll see you in the next video.